it's Gary from On the Airplanes. I have an interesting video today that's going to teach you how to log your flights in Google Earth. Google Earth Pro is available, at least last time I checked, it was available for free download, and like Flight Simulator 2020, it offers you the majority of the world, and you can use this really awesome Google Earth interface to save your flights. So bear with me on this one. If you look down, you'll notice on the screen kind of a black box. I'm having a problem loading the information window in Google using this OBS capture program, which is also an awesome freeware program. So just deal with the black box for now. It'll make sense when it pops up. I'm not sure if you can see the mouse here, but it's down on the bottom corner of the screen here. So anyways, let's get started. So what you do is after you open up the program, if you've never used it before, you'll scroll down the left-hand side where it says Places. If it's closed like this, you'll just want to click that. And there's a thing on here that says My Places. So when you click on My Places, I've already made a folder, but if you want to do My Places and go to Add a Folder, it's just going to give you a pop-up box like this. It showed up on my other screen, but anyways, you'll get it. You'll change the name of the folder. You can put other notes in if you need to, but I just named it something simple for now. You can always change it later. Change it to FS2020 bin there, just for now. So I started logging the flights today, and because I'm kind of really nitpicky and kind of one of those statistician type people, I don't think I'm going to go back and add all the places I've been. I think I'm going to just start fresh and start logging some flights today. So I landed earlier at Charlie Yankee Lima Delta, which is Chapleau Airport. So I logged my landing there in this program. It's very easy to do this. Now this is where this little black box is going to make sense in the bottom corner. To add a new landing location, all you need to do is click on the yellow pin tab, or little box up here, icon I guess. And when you do that, you're going to get a new location. Now, I've already changed what type of imagery I want to use, which you do up here. So the normal is the little thumbtack, but there's a whole bunch on here. And the funniest part is I'm using an airplane. Just makes sense. We're landed before. But if you take a look, there's little flames on here, and there's a lot of other different stuff that you could use. The only thing that might happen is you might get confused at whether it was a landing spot or something else you saved. I figured maybe a flame for if you crash. If you went out for a virtual picnic, you can use the picnic table. But for now, I'm using the airplane, which looks just like that. Once you do that, you can adjust the color to the color that you want. So I don't mind a blue. It never looks exactly the same because this was the color I selected, but the actual airplane icon in the end is a little bit lighter because they have some kind of cool fading effect in there. So anyways, that's how you add one of these points. So I'm going to show you one that I added. I'm going to just cancel this one out here. And this is going to bring you into the one that I did earlier. To name the point, it's very simple. It just literally says name up at the top. And I'm trying to see here if that's not the one we wanted. Why is it not showing up right now? Let me check this out here. I'm going to just do a little bit of problem solving here. You're supposed to be able to see this box. Oh, you can see the box on the other side. Sorry, this is for afterwards. When you click on the plane, you'll see it down here. So this little box, when I do this, usually shows up. Let's see. Oh, there's no words to it, so it won't. Okay, I'm going to go to the other airplane that I did. That'll make a little bit more sense. So the second landing I did today was at Hornpain. There we go. Now it'll make more sense. So when you click on a point after you've entered it into the into Google Earth, it's going to show you the name that you gave it, and it's going to tell you that any notes that you put in, and even better, it'll let you add a picture of what happened. So we'll go back to the properties, and I'll show you how all that works. So again, I'm using a date format, which I kind of prefer. It's a 6-digit date format. It starts with the year, the month, and the day. The reason why I like this is because the date always counts up. So you're never going to be confused by whether it's September or if it's the 9th day of a month or whatever. So I just do it that way. It always counts up because once you get to 2021, the number just flips over to 21 instead of, again, having, 915 and what year was it, right? This just keeps counting up. Anyways, and following that, I have the airport code, CYHN, which is Hornpain. You could type it in however you want, though. You could say, landed nicely here or whatever, however you want to do it. And down below, there's a description that says whatever you want. So I typed in flying a Cessna Caravan taking passengers to a remote location, for example. And the best part is you can add an image. Now, I don't know if you've used Snipping Tool or whatever program you use, snapshots or whatever in Flight Simulator or graphics card. So I'm not going to show you how to take a screenshot. But after you take the screenshot in here, basically to add one, make sure that the cursor's gone down because it'll kind of go in front of your words if your description if you didn't. And you click on add a local image, go to where your picture is saved. I made myself a folder for this, so I don't have a lot in there right now. And you click on it, the picture that you took, you go to open, and you click OK. When you're done, you're going to notice now that when I click this button, that little box down there, which is it's just my nightmare that this is such a problem. That little black box, if I can adjust it on the screen right now, it would be sweet. So let's see here. There we go. So I'm going to move it up now that that box got bigger. I just didn't want the big black box taking everything up. So here we go. So now you've got a saved location, and in the background you'll see Google Earth has a big white box. That's what would be in the box. So it doesn't look this horrible on your screen. It's just for some odd reason when I'm sharing the simulator screen and I'm sharing Google Earth, it's not showing everything up all at once. So just imagine this is in here. So when you click on a location, you're going to see that, and it's as simple as that. The really interesting point that I'd like to throw out there is that if you like to do bush flying, and you're like, oh, I do not want to forget where I went during my bush flying, you can also do it for that as well. So I just picked the airports that I flew to today. I'm going to get that black box off of here completely now. Which one is it? There you go. So if you landed out in the middle of nowhere, on top of the fact that you can record where you were, on top of the fact that Microsoft FS2020 uses the nice satellite photography, you can locate it in Google Earth, and you could technically put one of these points down if you landed on this field over here. And again, you could do a screenshot, whatever, but that way, if you are trying to find the place, so I'll just kind of make a new one here, show you from the get-go. So I'm not going to have an image, but I'm going to say landed. Well, that's not how you spell landed. So landed on a field here, and you could type in here coolest off airport landing. So you can add that in there, and when you do that and you go to OK, it now shows up in this list that you have on the left-hand side for places. So again, if you did this, you could have a picture in there. You could have a whole story typed into that location, and then after you leave Google Earth, before you leave, I do not want to forget to tell you this, you have to click Save My Places. Now, the nice thing is it's not going to ask you to make a file. It's just going to save what you had just done. So when you quit and you come back in after doing that, you should be okay. Now, you can click Save Place As. Now, this is important for if you have a huge logbook going on there with your Google Earth and you want to save it as a KML file or something. You can actually save it as this or a KMZ, and you could share it with somebody else. You could basically send it off and be like, hey, this is where I've been. And the person can open it and see all where you've been. Now, I don't know if the pictures will show up because they are local pictures on your computer, so I don't think it's going to send the pictures, but you could send the locations that you've been to somebody else if you wanted to. But the point is, you don't have to do that unless you want to do that. Unless you want to send it to somebody or save it in your records in case, say, your computer crashes and you've now saved the KML or KMZ file, because then you can reload it into another version of Google Earth. So it is good to do that every once in a while. You could back it up every day if you wanted. But if you trust your computer, you literally just have to do the save my places, which I just did. Sorry, I clicked on the other one again. Save my places here. It saved it. You can quit Google Earth. When you quit, you can come back in and you can see all the stuff. Anyways, that was just an important thing before you close that I wanted to mention. But my point is, now in your list over here, you can locate this. Now, if you don't want to see this when you're going through Google Earth, if you don't want to see all your locations, because this is the cool thing, here's the 3 locations I've added today. They're all showing up on here. So you can imagine if you've got the whole world in here that you've been traveling around, you're going to have all these airplane locations, which, again, I think is really cool. So, again, the dates are kind of cool for if you want to do it sequentially. You can also move the airplanes around, so you could drag this up to make it ahead of that point. But if you do it every day and you don't go back in time, unless you want to go back to your very first landing and then start from that, you could do that to get them all in, but then you won't have the pictures. So for me, I want a picture with every landing that I'm adding to this thing. So basically there you have it. But again, now, when somebody's like, oh man, where did you land? That was such a cool part in the simulator. And you're like, oh, I don't remember because, you know, I didn't record it or anything. You just double click on that cool landing spot because you did actually record it. And now you know where it is and how to get there again if you need to. So anyways, this was just kind of a basic video to show you how to start logging your flights into Google Earth. Again, it's all free. It just is a little bit of extra work that you got to do. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'm going to be looking into other possible features because I'd like to have it where you could you can make little Google Earth videos in here, but I'd like to see it where you can kind of press play on one of their tours and it might show you in order where you landed. I don't know if that'll work. There might be a way to put dates on all these. So again, I'll take a look into it, but you could also just record them and click them in order, but it'd be nice if there was an auto way to do that. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope it helped you out. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can subscribe to the channel. I'm on Facebook as well, on the Airplanes Facebook page. You can message me through there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Have yourselves a great day.